Coming up, the 37th annual Freihofer's Run for Women, brought to you by Price Chopper, Freihofer's, CSC, CBS 6, CW15, 99.5 The River, and the City of Albany. Freihofer's, it's a name branded by running excellence. A 5K revered worldwide, and a field comprised of superior talent every year. Who will be the first to cross the all-new finish line? That answer coming up as complete coverage of the 37th Freihofer's Run for Women starts right now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly O'Donnell. This is James O'Brien of the New York Athletic Club. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll take you inside the 37th annual Freihofer's Run for Women with race highlights, reaction, and some of the stories that make this event so special to the Capital Region. And James, I know this is one of your favorite days on the calendar every year.
Kelly, it certainly is. I've lost count of the number of years I've been coming here, but I certainly wouldn't miss it. It's a wonderful weekend for women's distance running. Well,
the celebration, drama, and excitement was the same today as it's been for 37 years, but the course was different. Since the race's inception back in 1979, the run has always started and finished on Madison Avenue, right in front of the New York State Museum. But this year's prestigious 5K road race will be charting a new course. Today, the 37th annual Freihofer's Run for Women steps off from its new Washington Avenue location. The changes for this year and next made necessary by ongoing construction. Roughly 5,000 entrants from recreational runners to Olympians will start on Washington Avenue heading west, turn into Washington Park at Western and go around the lake, exit the park at Sprague Place, and then go east on Washington Ave with a closing downhill dash toward Albany City Hall.
We have come to a venue which I think is going to be wonderful for the Run for Women, and I think it's going to be very exciting for our participants.
And the most important change with the new route, no bottleneck at the start, also without as much of a climb at the start. Conventional wisdom would suggest that this track might be a little bit quicker. What do you think?
Well, looking at the course map, Kelly, and the early parts of the route, I think it could be quicker. I mean, the upgrade at the start is not quite as steep. There are fewer turns. There's more shade. I think it's going to put a very interesting wrinkle on the race that's 37 years old.
And we'll see what that does for the times. Now, the course is different, but many of the elite runners are the same. We've seen for several years now. The long-standing rivalry between the Kenyan and Ethiopian elites will be on display. Team Kenya is led by two-time Freihofer's Run for Women champion Emily Chebet. Her winning time in 2010, a brief 15 minutes, 12 seconds, is still the course record. Chebet did not run last year, but perhaps returns to Albany as the woman to beat.
I
don't know exactly about the body, but I like to run a very good time tomorrow.
And leading the charge for Ethiopia is Buzda Riba. The 21-year-old has a sub-15-minute 5K on her resume and recently posted the fastest 5,000-meter time in the country this year. What do you think of her chances?
She's got to be one of the main contenders, I would think, if only based on that recent time that she ran in Boston in April.
Well, today's field also has many talented elites from the United States, including Boston Spa's Megan Hogan. Hogan was the fastest American in last year's race. She finished 6th overall, and she's coming off a win in the Brooklyn Half Marathon. And there are only about 26,000 people in that race. Can Megan, who's more of a distance runner, be there at the finish? What do you think?
Well, that's going to be one of the very interesting things about this race. Can a distance runner like Megan come down and really compete with the speedsters who are stepping up a little bit in distance?
Running half marathons helps the strength portion of a 5K that you need. As far as the speed, I'm hoping that just kind of is there, despite the lack of training in that category. But, you know, you always need endurance, and that's the great thing about training for half marathons, etc., which I believe some of the other girls have been doing marathon training as well.
Hogan was a basketball player at Saratoga Catholic. Hannah Davidson competed just down the road as a distance runner at Saratoga Springs High School. She won last weekend's Lilac 10K in Rochester. Can the former All-American Providence College hang with the favorites?
Well, I think she's going to have a big job, but she's obviously an emerging talent. She went to Providence College, as you said, was a great cross-country runner there. Says she loves running on the roads. So it'll be very interesting to see what she can do, but she's certainly got her work cut out for her.
I ran a race 2 weeks ago, and that went very well, so we'll see. I'm excited. Usually when I don't expect anything, I run pretty well, so hopefully, fingers crossed.
Well, on the Masters side, for women 40 and over, Melody Fairchild headlines an impressive field. The Colorado native and one-time high school prodigy is looking to win back-to-back Masters titles. Melody told me she's been training differently as she gets ready for the Leadville 100, a 100-mile race. Insane. What do you think of her chances at 3.1 miles?
Well, that's very interesting, isn't it, to come down from 100 miles to 3.1. But I think she's got to be our favorite. Really, she's a defending champion. She's up against Lyubov Denisova from Russia, but I think Melody's got to be our favorite.
The advantage to training in four longer races recently is that the 5K is going to be very short, so compared to 3 hours.
And James, as you mentioned, Fairchild's fiercest competition could be Lyubov Denisova, the native Russian who now lives in Florida, is a two-time LA Marathon winner in her first Freihofers, though. Is Melody untouchable?
It's tough to say untouchable, but Denisova is a very, very accomplished and a very strong runner. But again, we're seeing her, she's a marathon runner. I mean, Melody Fairchild has a lot of experience over this distance, not to mention at this race.
Well, also competing in the Masters field, 79-year-old Libby James. She sets an age group record almost every time she runs. She told me she considered giving up running when she turned 70. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Well, it just goes to show you should never give up. 79 years young.
Been very interesting. It's just something that I love to do, and it's turned out to be way more than that. Yeah.
So those are a few of the favorites. James, who do you think will be in the mix for the final kick down Washington Avenue?
Well, again, I think it's a wide open field, but Emily Chibet is my favorite. I think Buza Dariba could be right there, and I'm also going to go for an outside shot with Diane Nakuri from Burundi. She's a marathon runner coming down, but she's been running well this year, and she's got a load of talent, and she's run here before.
And like we said, Melody Fairchild has to be considered the one to beat in the Masters field, but if anybody can catch her, who will it be?
I got to go with Denisova, maybe. Christy Peterson's obviously very good too, very talented, but I think Melody Fairchild is our favorite.
And CBS 6 will be proudly represented in today's Run for Women. Our weekday morning anchor, Julia Dunn, was a bit hesitant to sign up because she says she's not a runner. So to prepare for the 5,000 meters, she joined other Capital Region women for the Freihofer's Training Challenge. It's for all women of all levels.
Here's a place I never expected to be. My first training session for a 5K race. When CBS 6 and trainer Kristen Hislop approached me about running it, I wasn't sure.
So I'm not a runner. But you keep telling me that you keep telling me that doesn't matter. So.
It doesn't matter. That's what this program is all about. So it's all about getting a starting point and moving from there. And you know, some people come into it with different athletic backgrounds. Other people literally start from nothing.
Which means working muscles maybe you're not used to using. I had a little leg up here in the cardio department because I play sports. If you don't, Coach Kristen says don't worry.
The fantastic thing about a 5K is it's a short distance as far as, you know, the overall run distances go. So it's very doable. So the workouts, the first week, our workouts are 20 minutes long.
Guilderland mom Trudy Bell is like me. This will be her first time running a 5K.
I feel like I'm in pretty good shape, but I'm looking forward to doing it the right way.
As of now, her only running has been on a treadmill, a hobby she says she picked up after having 3 kids and trying to get back into shape.
But I've never had any formal training, so I was very interested in the injury prevention aspect and technique, proper form, nutrition.
Training sessions consist of a warm-up, 20-minute workout, then stretching. Here you learn proper technique, how to relax, and avoid running in pain. The 10-week program, which is only $40, offers several different time slots to help women work around busy schedules. Even someone like me, who wakes up at 2 in the morning.
So you have me going, I wake up super early in the morning, but there's this 1:30 session on Mondays.
Exactly. So it's doable. And, you know, people who go to work late, you know, they can get in a workout early in the morning before. And then we've got a 5 o'clock in the evening and a 6:30.
There's also a Saturday morning session at 8:30. I'm new to the group, but it looks like a great place for anyone to meet some new faces. And who knows, maybe I'll actually learn to enjoy running after this.
And there'll be women in this group by the end who are saying, I want to do this time, and what do I have to do that time? And there'll be others who, I just want to cross that finish line.
That's me.
Yeah, and what we want is everybody to have a big smile.
In Colony, Julia Dunn, CBS 6 News.
We'll check back in on Julia as she gets set for her first Freihofer's Run for Women. And just ahead, we'll take you from the start line through Washington Park and back. There's lots to see and hear along the way, plus who will be crowned Freihofer's champion.
Now, back to the 37th annual Freihofer's Run for Women.
Welcome back to the 37th Freihofer's Run for Women 5K. We'll take you to the starting line in just a few minutes, but first, for one Colony woman, the race has become not just tradition, but a reason to fight for her life. This cancer survivor managed to run every year for over a decade, even while battling pancreatic cancer. And this year, she's running again. Lynn Falsetti tells her story.
For Sue Patterson, the Freihofer's Run for Women has become an annual family tradition. She has laced up and hit the pavement every year since 1999. It was her way of getting her family involved in something that hits very close to home. Her mother passing away from ovarian cancer that year, and it sparked Patterson to make a difference.
It was just a wonderful experience. And our two daughters ran the kids run, and they also were hooked on it after that.
But just 4 years ago, Sue Patterson's own health took a turn for the worse.
In 2011, I turned 55 and I retired. And a few days later, I was shocked to learn that I had pancreatic cancer.
But that didn't stop her. That Christmas, she tells us her daughters pushed her to keep running with two gifts: bright orange running shorts and a Livestrong shirt with the message Battle Mode. Sue knew she had to fight. She ran that year.
It was probably my worst time ever for a 5K, but I will always consider that my best race ever.
And she'll run again this year. Today, Sue Patterson is cancer-free, getting a CT scan once a year, but hopes her journey can help inspire other women.
Regardless of the type of problem you're facing, whether it's cancer, whether it's a broken relationship, whatever hardship you're facing in your life, it can help empower you to get through it, to just work through it.
Lynn Falsetti, CBS 6 News.
Over the 3 days leading up to the race, the world-class runners typically visit 15 to 20 area schools and speak to more than 2,500 Capital Region kids every year. Cody Holyoke joined some racing enthusiasts at Roosevelt Elementary to see what it's like when one of the fastest women in the world comes to town.
Good morning.
When it comes to speaking to kids, Serena Birla is a natural, captivating them with talk of running and about her experiences on and off the course.
You can't control everything in life, but you can control your attitude towards it.
Serena has a lot to tell. She's had a wildly successful professional career, despite battling a major setback in 2010. She noticed intense pain in her leg when she wasn't running. Doctors found cancer.
So you could just tell the look on his face, and he just said, you know, I'm so sorry, like it's some type of malignant tumor. And it was just like, it was so outside of the radar of what I thought it would be.
Life suddenly shifted into focus for Serena. She thought of her son and her family. Surgeons removed the tumor and a muscle in her leg.
So it was like, save my life, save my leg if you can, and anything after that. I mean, really anything after saving my life has been bonus.
Now the cancer is gone and Serena has bounced back, winning races and pushing forward.
Those hard days teach you so many lessons, and that makes the really good days that much better.
She's hoping other runners will share a good day with her in this year's race, a chance to come together and celebrate women.
Each woman running has their own personal story of why they're towing the line and what's going to motivate them to the finish line. So I have my story, and so just being able to lace up and be alive and be able to race is such a gift in itself, and just kind of getting that energy from the rest of the field is equally exciting. I just feel like I've been given a second chance for a reason, and so I'm just going to be the best me I can be on a daily basis, and enjoy the ride.
And here are some of those young girls and boys 9 to 14 years old running the Freihofer's Junior 3K. It's called the Kids Helping Kids Run and serves as a fundraiser for the Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center. Each registration is matched dollar for dollar by event sponsors, and more than $16,000 raised annually. There was also a 1-mile run, and there's no better ambassador for both school visitation and Melody Fairchild, who runs her own kids program back in Colorado. She's passionate about getting kids hooked on healthy habits. She ran with the kids this morning and vowed to come back next year to continue growing the program. Junior runners as young as 4 years old also got to stretch their legs. The Freihofer's Kids Run features a series of 5 free mini road races ranging in distance. The event, which introduces Capital Region youngsters to the joys and benefits of physical fitness, is open to children from 4 to 13. Currently, 14 local schools have training programs targeting the Kids Run. Joined again by James O'Brien of the New York Athletic Club. Most of the elite runners fell in love with the sport when they were kids, so who knows, maybe a future champion was out there earlier today.
I would bet on it, Kelly. I would absolutely bet on it.
Well, as far as the day's featured race is concerned, the 37th annual Freihofer's Run for Women. Before the start, James, take us on a tour of the new course layouts.
Well, we start off on Washington Avenue and heading up towards the 1 kilometer mark. We do a left on Robin into Washington Park to the 1 mile mark, all the way around the lake, back towards 2 miles, coming back out of the park, doing a right on Sprague Place, back on right on Washington, and all the way back down to the finish line.
All right, and there you go, nearly 4,000 strong in the 37th annual Freihofer Run for Women.
And they are off in the race. James, it wasn't brutally hot for the race, but humidity was certainly up.
The humidity was up, which makes it very testing, actually. But thankfully, as you said, the temperature wasn't too bad. It's actually pretty good. But humidity is a factor, particularly when they're running this hard.
We noticed that at the 1st kilometer mark, the split was a lot slower than many people expected. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think everybody's been very cagey. And the first kilometer was 3:21. By comparison, Emily Chibet, when she set the course record, ran 3:14. I think everybody's been very cagey about the new course and also about their competition. Everybody's looking at each other just to see how they're feeling and feeling each other out a little bit.
Who is that an advantage for, the slower pace, and who does that hurt?
It hurts the real speedsters. I think the people who are really capable of going much faster. I mean, Emily Chibet, for example, can run close to 15 minutes. That allows other people back in the game who may not have her raw basic pace. It helps the distance runners coming down.
And it also helps keep the field bunched together. I mean, now we're approaching through the 2nd kilometer here now into the park, and we still see 15, maybe more runners in that lead pack.
Yes, we do. And there's Diane Nakuri right at the front of the field. Ordinarily, she would sit in there. We see our leading master, I believe, Melody Fairchild there wearing the red visor.
Melody Fairchild seemed to have it on cruise control, never seemed too threatened in the race, but as we go back to the lead pack, at this point it looks like it could be anybody's race.
Well, it's totally anybody's race, Kelly. Everybody that you would expect to see there is there. Emily Chibet, Isabella Ochichi, Diane Nakuri, as we mentioned, Buza Deriva, they're all in there. So right now it's very, very hard to tell. In fact, it's impossible to tell who's feeling good, who's not feeling so good, and who's going to take this title.
So who will break out of that pack? We'll find out coming up.
You're watching the 37th annual Freihofer's Run for Women.
Welcome back. I'm Kelly O'Donnell. You don't actually have to run to be a part of the Run for Women. Many choose the community walk. The event is in its 27th season. Every walker has the opportunity to represent one of the nonprofit organizations affiliated with the event. In fact, the community walk has raised more than $1 million for nonprofits since the first steps were taken back in 1989. Today, more than 200 people walked and raised over $14,000. CBS 6 Morning anchor Julia Dunn was committed to running this year. She shared her training experience with us, including the steps she took to stay injury-free.
It's week 5 of the Freihofer's Training Challenge. Halfway through, and to be honest, I've fallen a bit behind.
So even if you haven't even started doing anything yet, you can still do it. So you just got to get out there.
Started doing anything yet?
No, I know you have. You're fine. But, you know, if you haven't been or you've been out of it a little bit, you can jump right back in.
Okay, so I've done some running on my own, but like many women here, I'm new to the sport and I don't want to injure myself. Trainer Kristen Hislop says it's all about progression.
You don't want to go from 0 to 60 right away. You want to, you know, keep increasing what you're doing, the amount of time you're running, the amount of days a week you're running.
I'm training in the intermediate group, so at week 5, that's intervals of 7 minutes running, 1 minute of walking. To avoid injury, all of us are being told to warm up first, doing stretches where you're moving around. Try to be light on your feet and take shorter strides, and don't overdo it.
If it hurts, you know, you don't push through, you stop and you figure out what's going on.
A runner for 20 years and 57 years old, Kathy Nabalik usually runs the race with her daughter.
I just get emotional. It's amazing being with so many thousands of other women, and you just feel the strength.
Keep in mind, paying attention to your body also means putting thought into what you're wearing, like shoes.
So I bought new running shoes, but I bought them before the whole training thing. You don't want to buy new running shoes the day before the race.
Right, exactly. So we really want everybody to test everything out before the day of the race. You're testing your socks, you're testing your shoes, you're testing you know, shorts or capris or whatever you're going to wear because you want to make sure it's comfortable. 3 miles is enough to get chafed.
Which is definitely something that I want to avoid because for me, this is going to be hard enough. I'm hoping that running with the group will give me support when I need it the most. Race day, May 30th. In Colony, Julia Dunn, CBS 6 News. We're here at the starting line for the 37th annual Freihofer's Run for Women, and we're right in the middle of everything. There are thousands of women here today, and as you can see, there are some of them right here. We're going to talk to some of the runners and see how they're doing and if they've ran the race before. I'm going to blindside some people here. Hey, what's your name?
Morgan Armstrong.
Morgan Armstrong. Where are you from?
Poughkeepsie.
Is this your first time running the race?
Second time.
Why do you like running this race?
Good exercise.
Good exercise. Is this your first time running the race?
No, actually, our daughters and our friend is putting her bag away right now, but they used to come here in their strollers, and now they're running it. Second time that they've run it. So it's a mother-daughter, and we're going to go see our grandmas later, so the 3 generations will be together this weekend.
That's amazing. I think that's one of the cool things about this race is a lot of women do it year after year, and like, you know, you're here with your family.
Yes, yep. So we're going to have a great time and just, you know, have fun listening to the music and waving to the cameras.
Awesome. Thanks for speaking to us. Let's check out some other people here. Excuse me? What's your name?
My name's Carrie.
Carrie? Yeah. Where are you from?
Niskayuna.
Is this your first time running the race?
No, I believe it's our 5th time running the race.
So you 5 times running the race. What's your favorite thing about it?
Just the amount of people that are here. It's wonderful. I love it. It's a beautiful day. The energy from the crowd is fantastic.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think the weather could be any better for today. It's like it's not too hot. It's not too cold.
It's not raining.
It's not raining. Have there been other years where it's rained?
Yeah, we've had rain. We've had heat, humidity, everything. We've done it in the gamut of weather, but it's wonderful today.
Awesome. Thanks for speaking to us. So just a couple of people that are running this race. Obviously, they've ran it several years in the past. This is an event that people come out to year after year. Either you're coming from Poughkeepsie or as close as Niskayuna. So I'm going to try running the race today. This is my first 5K. We'll see how I do, and we'll see how everyone else does here.
And I will tell you how she did. Julia crossed the tape in a very impressive time of 29 minutes and 49 seconds. Awfully good for a rookie. And once again, joined by James O'Brien of the New York Athletic Club as we head back to the race. And when we last left the lead pack, there was about 13 or so women strong halfway through the race. And as we head into the second half, still a lot more women maybe in that group than you would think.
Well, yes, at this point in the race, certainly. I mean, we can see how many there, 6, 8, or 9 women there in the lead pack, but we have Emily Chibet is still there, Diane Nakura is still there, Buza Deriba is still there, Isabella Ochichi. So all the favourites are in there, and it's impossible to tell who's going to take it at this point in time. There's our lead master, Melody Fairchild. She looks like she's running away with this race at this point.
And Melody, as we mentioned earlier, is the defending champion in the Masters field and was relatively untouched in today's race. If we go back to the lead group, and now you see a little bit more separation, and it is the Africans with the Kenyans and the Ethiopians really separating themselves.
Well, yeah, they just left the park, and they're back onto Washington Avenue for this very long home straight. They went through the 2-mile mark in 5:09. That's 10:29. There we see our lead master, Melody Fairchild. She seems to be having a very comfortable run. But there's our 3 leaders right now. It's Emily Chibet, Cynthia Limo, and Buza Deriba. So this looks like it's going to be 1, 2, 3. But who knows in what order at this point in time.
Of those 3, is there one that you think is a better sprinter?
I would have to give it to Chibet, I think. But again, it's virtually wide open. They can all really turn it on when they need to, put it that way.
Does Melody know what the gap is between herself and second place in the Masters?
Well, I would imagine she's getting some feedback from people along the course. There she just passed the 4K mark. There's Marissa Sutera Strange. She's our top over 50 competitor. But here we are, the lead 3, heading back along Washington Avenue. Looks like they have about 400 meters to go, and that's Emily Chibet really picking up the pace right now and surging away from Cynthia Limo in second place. Looks like she's approaching the finish line very, very fast right now.
And that's the kick that you talked about. So Emily Chibet, a winner in 2010, a winner in 2013, and she will cross the tape as a winner in 2015. Now a 3-time Freihofer's Run for Women champion at a time of 15 minutes and 38 seconds. beating countrywoman Cynthia Limo. Booz Dariba finished in third. Does the time surprise you a little bit, 15:38?
Well, it does. It's a little bit slow, but we knew that when they went out so slow in the first kilometre. But we haven't seen a time that slow here at Freihofer's for a while. However, I think it's a fantastic race still.
Meanwhile, let's take a look at how they finished in the Masters division. And like we had said, pretty much from halfway through the race, no surprise who the winner was going to be. Serena Birla is the top American finisher. Lindsay Flanagan finishing second there, and Megan Hogan in third place.
I'm not happy with my place, that's more because when you're doing a road race, it's hard to focus so much on your time. I think you think about your place more, and this is my worst finish since I've ever done this race.
But it was an okay day. It was a good course. It's hot out there, so that definitely played a part. I think a lot of girls were feeling the heat, but it was good. It was a good day.
And the Masters results, Melody Fairchild, 17 minutes and 34 seconds. Marissa Sotera-Strange, second in the Masters division. Christy Peterson, third.
It's awesome. I have been training in a different way this year, and I'm so happy to have answered my own question about whether I still have some leg speed. So I ran a little slower this year. I was probably about 17 seconds slower or so, but I'm very pleased with the effort.
I love the Albany area. I lived here once in Saratoga. I have the utmost respect for Melody. She is an elite person to me. I look up to her. So to finish behind her, I can't get any better than this.
So there you have it as we hear from all of the winners. And final thoughts, James.
Well, it's a new course, a three-time winner, a repeat winner in the Masters division. Obviously a fantastic race. 37 years at Freihofers, 37 wonderful years.
Well, that'll do it for the 37th Freihofers. We hope to see you for number 38 for James O'Brien. I'm Kelly O'Donnell. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Ochichi. Matt has come back, and she is a three-time winner right there.
The 37th annual Freihofer's Run for Women has been brought to you by Price Chopper, Freihofer's, CSC, CBS 6, CW 15, 99.5 The River, and the City of Albany.